What's good, y'all? It's Badir from ArtAboveReality. Hope y'all having a great day. I wanted to take this time just to kind of give some insight into the Falling Through the Cracks series. I realize I've never kind of came on here and kind of talked about the mission of the project, what the goals were, how it even got started, and all that other type of stuff. But first, before I do all of that, I want to thank y'all just for the response, the kind words on each post, the messages, the DMs, the insights. I've met a lot of great people through this project. I'm talking about family members of the artists, gallerists, collectors, historians. I've been having access to a few different resources that I didn't have before for research. And I just wanted to kind of, start by saying thank you and then kind of giving a background on how this got started, what my goals are for the project, and, just what to expect going forward. One of the things that I find interesting is that folks kind of get hung up on the term falling through the cracks. Falling through the cracks is not talking about an individual artist, right? Falling through the cracks is a culmination of talking about Black art history. Black art history, especially for Black people, has completely fallen through the cracks on education, through generational storytelling, even in sometimes art exhibiting, curation, research, like what I'm doing. It's been truly absent almost from a lot of our histories, or the history that's being taught to many of us. As you can see on some of the comments, folks will reach out and say, bro, I've never heard of this artist before. And I'm here to tell you, some of these artists I've never heard of before. So it's just as much of an awakening for me as a researcher, curator, to find out about these pioneers as it is for many of you. So falling through the cracks is not, talking about who's known to the traditional art world or in the art ecosystem, right? The art ecosystem is, this big, and the Black community, as we know, is way larger than that, consumes way more space than Blackness in the art world does. I've seen a few artists that are really well known by folks in the art world, but there's folks outside of the art world that may study something else that don't have a clue, or that may have seen their work in something else and are able to relate them with that thing they saw, like Jeffrey Holder. There are some folks that, this was a really cool one where folks were like, why didn't you mention 7-Up, 7-Up Uncola? And mind you, I don't even know if I was born, when the 7-Up Uncola happened, but I knew him from like Boomerang and a few other things like that. So I was able to, laugh at it because, folks telling me, oh, you forgot this and that. It's like, no, I didn't forget. That was just, the highlight for my generation. So now that I've went back and seen those Uncola commercials and things like that, it all makes sense and I'm able to laugh about it. So it's a real learning experience for everyone. And it isn't without any mistakes. I mean, I had to remove the Roy DeCarva one. It'll be up tomorrow, edited version, because I included 2 photos from my mistakes in research or misreading captions that had 2 other artists' work that weren't Roy DeCarva's photos. And I was like, ugh. And I'm glad I had the good folks that are, followers and people that support the project that pull my coattail to it, like, yo, bro, this is that and this is that. And I'm truly appreciative of that, because that's the community that I want to build that helps with research. You'll get naysayers here and there about different things, or why am I including this artist? Why am I not including this artist? Or this artist isn't falling through the cracks. Everybody knew them, as we mentioned before, but obviously not if we're having over 100 comments of folks saying that, this is their first time hearing of the artist. I started this project, or these vignettes, as not only just research for me, from my understanding, but I got tired of people only knowing 1 or 2 Black artists. You have the Basquiats, you have the Jacob Lawrences, Romare Bearden, a few others, but they failed to mention some real greats Don Hogan Charles, you know, Gwendolyn Knight, you know, all of the, I think I've done about 96 of them so far, or posted maybe 96 of them or something like that. So there's, I mean, I've gotten so much more to really go and delve deeper into these histories, so much more than I can add, you know, in a minute and a half, you know, in an Instagram, you know, stories only, but so much you can do on a story. But, you know, the encouragement for them is to, you know, have people look deeper. I mean, you know, Black arts education is really taking a hit these days. Black history as a whole, you know, with all the stuff that's happening politically in these different states with education, I feel that this is necessary. I've had a few teachers that reached out, you know, asking for notes and things like that about these artists so that they can share, which I truly appreciate and encourage. I've had folks that have reached out via DM suggesting artists that are family members, some that are old teachers, some that are mentors, and I appreciate it. You know, I've had to kind of like dial down on them for a second with like saying I kind of don't take them yet, because I'm just trying to build a framework for my research. You know, I want to understand the places these artists have been, you know, the materials, the moments in their life where they, you know, intersect. I think it's very important in building different research models with machine learning, with a lot of different other tech, coding and things like that, to really identify patterns, really bring light to locations, teachers, and similarities, and even differences in a lot of these artists. But I will get back into encouraging folks to send me artists that they believe should be included. Because this is a collective project, ultimately. I ultimately want to, you know, create this research. I'm not ultimately want to. I am creating a database where it's easily accessible for folks just to do the research for projects and things like that, and to have history that's, you know, correct and accurate. That's, you know, why I'm taking down the work today and replacing it just to make sure that my sources are correct, and going back through other things and verifying sources, because a lot of times, to be honest, I'm going through a lot of documents and trying to make sure that I'm logging things correctly, and then sometimes the information I'm getting isn't always accurate. So I'm trying to piece together the right information with narrative storytelling. Again, after doing a few of these, I'm getting access to documents and family members that are allowing me and helping me to verify the information, showing me different artworks, providing photos for me to use in different videos, because I ultimately want to do a full project that details and talks about these artists with the people that live these lives with them, you know, the ones that are still with us, of course, and allow these stories to be told, you know, in the right way, and not by just, you know, novels and, you know, other people bringing in their tales of what they feel, or from their perspective, what their lives were. I want the folks that actually lived it with them to tell these stories. So yeah, I say all this to say that, you know, I'm gonna keep trucking on for as long as I can. I have other projects that I can't wait to show you all that include the African diaspora and the spaces, places, projects, exhibitions that these artists have worked on, created, encountered, things they've collaborated on, awards that they are named after, you know, public spaces and projects that they're a part of that we may not know about. This is fun. It's fucking fun. For me to really find this out and to get out of the mundaneness of, you know, the everyday art world where it's pretty much all transactional. So I thank y'all big time for just your encouragement, the support. Keep it coming, you know, and I'll keep doing these as long as, you know, the support is there, and, you know, try to bring resources and more community around these, and yeah, just keep pushing. Thank y'all. Have a good one. Peace.